Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. So, today I wanna say thank God. I wanna be thankful, and I wanna explain why I'm thankful for the cosmology I live my life from. Because in all honesty, had it been not for my cosmology, not for my not belief system, but more my knowingness, the things that I've learned, I think, yeah, I actually have a lot of, it makes me, I think I would have lost my mind, because I'm quite empathic, and I'm very sensitive, and I, like everyone else, I had a lot of trauma, and because of my trauma, I feel I needed security all the time. I felt unprotected. I felt alone. I felt afraid very, very easily. And plus, pretty much my whole adult life, since the age of 16. And even before that, I had absolutely no support system whatsoever. No one I could trust or rely on, or call upon if I needed to. So yeah, that's why I keep drumming retrocausality. And the thing is, everything that I've discovered only came to a draw and a conclusion and a meaning when in December of 2020, as I said, at the conjunction. Until then, I didn't really put together, okay, I'm finding out all this shit, I have all of these interests, what the fuck for? And then our reality fell apart, and had it not been for this awareness that something from the future is dictating my now, so this retrocausality for me represents full faith in something and full confidence and security in something that I don't see. We've seen our past, we're seeing our present. But the neurosis, the global neurosis that people are medicating themselves, gambling themselves, cheating themselves, insert your addiction themselves, to traverse this time that we're in, this reality that we find ourselves into, would have been me as well. I would have been in the same situation, because majority of people have realized they cannot assure, they cannot guarantee and prepare for the future, because it's been shown to them that literally they don't know what the future holds. And because, in my viewpoint, the future itself is doing this now, in that concept itself, I draw my security from. I am absolutely convinced that the future knows what it's doing. As I said, I rejected all responsibility for my being here. So therefore, I have taken nothing upon myself that need to fix or to repair or to prepare for, because to me, the same way as I didn't put myself here, I have no conscious vision of where I need to be in the future, but I have absolute security that the me in the future knows what it wants to be, because it's been proven to me up to this point that absolutely everything I've gone through, so by retrocausality, I just woke up to the fact that everything I've been dragged through has a point. This is what's been proven to me in 2020. The fact that we studied for a year The Wizard of Oz. The fact that I ended up in the countries I ended up, learning the languages I ended up, having the feeling to come to Europe when I did. And this was basically the biggest thing when I got this message that I have to exit, absolutely exit Australia and New Zealand. Like, there is no way I can stay there anymore. I got such a clear message that I have to just go as far as I can go. And so I trusted instinctively, not fully understanding that something from the future is conducting my present. I just blindly followed my instinct, and it all came to a conclusion, and it made sense. All I knew, all I learned, all I went through, all the choices that I've been made to make, because my instinct made me choose what I've chosen. It all made sense. All of a sudden it made sense. So with the 2020 conjunction, the biggest thing that happened, I gained blind faith in this that's conducting me, that's driving me, that's giving me these instinctive feelings that I've been following all along. Now I know what that is. It is retrocausality, in the sense of the future me, it's planning and it's organizing everything. All I have to do is follow. Now this is what clarified for me. Literally, moment by moment of my life made sense, including never investing $1 in the system. Also, when I understood how energy is collected and siphoned literally from people through the exchange of money, through the banking and tax system, how we are literally harvested for energy, because the whole money system, it's given to us just like a teaser to grab, to take our souls, to stick it to the money itself, and then by this very money that we just got addicted to being taken away by this and this and this and this and this situation. So here you are, give it back. Here you are, give it back. Oh, you like it, now you have to give it back. So by this actual action of constantly being tricked, oh, now you've got so much money, but you have to pay more and more and more and more and more is taken from you, and in more ways, just so that pain, that effort that you make to get more money, and then more is taken away from you. It's literally the siphoning of life force. And so I understood why in my life I never could invest in my life in a mortgage or in big loans or I've created, in many countries that I've been in, I've created debt. So I've borrowed and I ran away. I didn't pay it. And I would literally just move countries. And I felt, a part of me felt guilty and part of me felt very entitled. And the programmed part of me that was guilting me into it, into like telling me, oh, that's stealing, oh, that's terrible, oh, not from people, by the way, from institutions. So that part of me that was trying to kind of blame me and guilt me and so on, my instinct was literally just making me just walk away. It was giving me the opportunity to just walk away and not pay. But still, the integrity part of me, but the integrity related to the rules of society, that was making me feel guilty. And so I carried that guilt with me until 2020, when I understood what the financial system really was. First of all, from institutions, absolutely every dollar, it's created because you ask for it. So they never had it. The whole financial system thrives on debt. So, and plus, any debt you make from an institution, it's instantaneously insured. And so, so I was doing it. So instinctively, I was pushed. I was put in a situation to be able to do it, and then I wouldn't pay it back. I would move countries. Something would happen. I would go somewhere else. Something would happen, and so on, and I wouldn't pay it back. And it was only in 2020 when I fully understood what the financial system really is, that I realized, oh, that's why it was making it so easy for me to get away with shit. And then I realized, oh, why the fuck did I borrow more? Because I just borrowed peanuts, you know? And I've always invested just in travel and in clothes, really, and in my day-to-day good living. So I was never ever, even though I went to courses on real estate and everything, and real estate was huge in Australia and New Zealand and so on, and everyone was like, oh yeah, buy a rundown property and a doer-upper, and you do it, and I was like, fuck, what a waste of life and energy. No, I am not doing that. I'd rather buy shoes, thank you, and lipstick, because that's a lot more fun. And a lot of people were getting rich whilst I was just buying another pair of shoes or something. So from the definition of success outside of me, like in society, by their standards, I was not successful. But the thing was, a lot of these people were losing massively in other parts, and they were having, when I was going out for brunch and coffees, they were renovating and literally sweating bullets to pay the shit that they got themselves into. And so my day-to-day life has always been very easy, very fun. It was a lot of fun. I was always at the beach. I was always rollerblading. I was partying, and that was my life. And playing with my cats and playing with boys and so on. So it didn't make sense. It didn't make sense why I'm guided to do the shit I'm doing. But I was still doing it blindly because my instinct is, I couldn't override it. At no point in time was I stronger than my instinct. I could not override what I was so pushed by spirit. But I was blasting the spirit because I was thinking it's taking me the wrong path. And it was only in 2020, because it's already, by that stage, the crazy had happened, and I could see the world just going down the toilet. And I was like, fuck my life, man. Everything now makes sense. Like, it absolutely makes sense. That's why That's why I was told to do that. That's why I was inclined to do that. That's why, like, imagine if I had kids to be masked, or imagine if I had, like in Australia, property that someone chooses to declare, like the land grab that was in Australia in Byron Bay, where literally inundations were man-made. They blocked the streets so help could not get through. They condemned so many properties, and once the property, so they wouldn't allow help. They would absolutely block the street so help doesn't get through to people. The people were left exactly like in Katrina, exactly what happened with Katrina, only that was a hurricane and whatever, but in Australia was floods, and it was the land grab, so people's livelihoods, you might as well be in Palestine and have your house bulldozered because the neighbors decided it's theirs. That's exactly what's happening last year and the year before in Australia. So I've seen just like, I could have wasted so much of my life force chasing the goddamn dollar and making the dollar my god and doing the responsible thing because that's the trend, and you know, if you make it now then you can be rich at some stage and rah rah rah. So I didn't do any of that. I was literally floating in my own little bubble, and everyone was like, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm like, I don't fucking know, but I gotta do it. And so that's what happened. I was stunned to see how well I was guided. So what came with my realization came the no doubt. So it went from belief now to knowing. And that's when it clicked. Fuck my life. Life is not going past, present, future. It's literally the future. Like, my spirit knew the shit it was gonna come. And it protected me from so much pain. Imagine seeing your kids fucked up, your property fucked up, your freedom fucked up, your right to breathe and so. I'd rather fucking smoke my lungs than someone telling me to cover up my fucking face for a non-existent whatever they were spraying, you know? So that's what came. So since then, I rode this whole wave with absolute ease, joy, and security, full security. And even now, it's not even that, I have not a clue what's coming in the future, nor do I need to know. Why would I need to know? This body is not mine. It was given. My consciousness, I was told when I wanted to exit from here, yeah, I was told the being of me will never ever end. And so there is no, how can I say, there is no fear. What's happening to the body, it's what is planned to happen with the body. It's never been in my hand to start off with, and it will never be in my hand. So me going all crazy trying to secure some future based on my limited capacity and understanding. Because everyone that's prepping, okay, you got cheese and rice and bananas and whatever the fuck you're prepping with. You're prepping for what you're conscious, what you're capable to understand that can be done to you. If there is a frequency attack, if there is a radiation attack, if there is a massive earthquake attack, right? What's your prepping gonna do? Like, you would have to be really, I mean, you just can't prep for the crazy that is possible in these psychos' minds. And you have no concept of the technologies that are available. So how the fuck can you prep? And as I said in yesterday's thing, unless you find absolute joy and fun and happiness in prepping, no, there is no fucking way. Your shit is gonna rot before you. And when it comes to it, or like that happened when they were stacking gold, and then it came to be absolutely illegal to trade gold, and everyone had to give up everything they had. And if they were caught having anything, they were prosecuted and that. So no. So that's why my security remained, and I remained so strong. Like people say, people say constantly that either that I'm arrogant or that how can I be so sure? And this is the thing. I'm sure not because I know something extra, but because I no longer need to know. I no longer need to know. I just have to, moment by moment, follow my instinct. And my instinct, it's always saying to me, do what gives you joy. And I don't need to know fuck all else. Because honest to God, like I've been a little bit, how can I say? Not intimidated, but I was a little bit, I can't think of the word now. The word is failing me. All these truthers that have so much knowledge, so much actual book knowledge with dates, with history, with information, with names, with blah, 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 blah. And they know so much, and they are so well informed and well read on, and so eloquent in the way, some of them, in the way they put a lot of information out. Then there is the guy from Lifting the Veil. Now, honest to God, and this David Ewing, David Irving, or the Ewing Jr., that's literally just vomiting a ton of, literally an information dump. You can't make heads and tails of it. They just babble on and make connections that you literally can no longer follow. There is such a huge, literally a truckload information dump with names and dates, and that means that, and that means that, and in French and in Arabic, and rah, 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 rah. And at first it looks intimidating, the amount of information that they amassed. However, it's completely useless. Completely useless. Okay, you figured out some shit, or you learned from the books, you came across some shit. Good for you. Bottom line is, how is that keeping you warm at night? Other than victimizing you further, seeing that everything that's actually mainstream, it's a complete contradiction to what you know, so therefore you're in a constant lie, feeling victimized, knowing that not living in the truth of our history, a lot of very important things have been lost, including way of life, proper education, proper food, proper water. So, okay, now you're all informed on every which way in which you're rammed in the ass, right? Okay, but how is that keeping you going another day? Because that was the big thing. I've learned and I've understood so much. But when you learn the truth and so on, you literally you find yourself at the bottom of a well that it's very disheartening to come out of. So you need a belief system, or you need a knowing system, or you need some sort of survival system that says, that's all fair and good. So that is the truth, as opposed to what I've learned so far. That's good. Now that I know that I live in a world of psycho liars, and including the registration of my car, it's enslaving me to the system and it sold me out, including my birth certificate and my passport, including my bodily autonomy is literally sold already. My name, my existence is traded on the stock exchange as chattel, like seriously. To go another day, to go on happily and sanely, and to sleep properly another day, once you realize you're in the most psychotic prison possible, how do you do that? And honest to God, I was so floored when I found out everything, including this globe bullshit. I mean, no wonder they're indoctrinating us before we can add 1 + 1, because had they told us later in our education the bullshit that is their globe bullshit system, of course we could have figured it out. But what the fuck can we calculate at the age of 7 and 8 when our indoctrination with the globe starts? Because look, the globe disappears from the tables in high schools and so on. This is only in the primary years and so on that this globe, it's always on the desk of the teachers and so on. And by the way, on every fucking globe it says not for educational purposes. So anyway, when I saw the entire psychotic realm that I'm in, that there is no geology, there is biogeology, there is no weather, there is just geoengineering. Everything about our music, fashion, clothes, everything has been social engineered into us. Tavistock, you name it. I found out about everything. The sovereign movement, and don't say sovereign citizen, for the fucking love of God. That's an oxymoron. You can't be sovereign slave. Citizen by definition is belonging and being an employee of a corporation. Learning that there are no countries. And the biggest thing was, I came to Europe for the buildings. Now, before I knew the Tartaria blanket term and so on, before I knew any of it, so in 2016, before I had any freaking idea, still, when people ask me why you want to go to Europe, I said, because I'm mad crazy about old structures, about beautiful architecture that it's so absent down under. There are a few, like Queen Victoria Building, the Town Hall in Sydney, and so many other, but they're few and far between. Not like in Europe, where literally you go to Dresden and you literally cry on the streets, or in every corner of Europe you find amazing structures and so on. So I literally said that I'm traveling for the architecture, yeah? And this was another thing. Fancy me saying that, and then part of my awakening, getting into Tartaria and into seeing that this one consciousness created the exact same structures across the realm. Like even seeing this, that my instinct, before it could tell me all of it, puts before me not only the desire to travel for the buildings, but also the path through which I discovered after the fall of the globe, the sovereign thing, then Tartaria, then the free energy, then everything, and I was like, fuck. How can I mistrust my instinct? How can I possibly? I don't need to know anything about my future. All I have to do is understand that my future has created absolutely every desire and event and situation. And even now, so since I've come to this conclusion, whatever happens in my life, whatever, how bad it looks, I don't care. The moment something happens and it's displeasing, I'm like, oh, this is exciting. That means, however I'm getting out of this thing, it's for an amazing reason, man. So now absolutely anything that happens doesn't have a bad connotation to it. Quite contrary. So after 2020, the whole go to the vid thing, I just started to love it. I was like, fuck, this answers so many of my underwriting wishes that I had. That's why I keep saying that I've created it, because literally this thing exposed something that I've been saying for years and years. It exposed, literally, you can pinpoint which person belongs where and what can you think, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, yeah, it's been a fantastic ride. So the concept, the belief, the understanding of retrocausality takes, that's why I'm stopping myself from saying belief, because there is no belief about it. Retrocausality, it's an absolute fact of life. I see, for example, I think of getting something today and then I think, nah, it's too expensive. And as soon as I hear too expensive, or I hear myself not following through, I'm like, okay, something better is happening. Or an order falls through. Fuck, I'm always like chilled about it, because I'm like, cool, that means that something amazing needs to happen still, and I'm gonna get a better deal or a better thing, or the medical system here is so terrible, as I was saying before. And I'm saying, oh, fucking that's fantastic, because that's gonna push me into totally being forced to explore self-healing and other concepts that, had I had a crutch to hold upon, I wouldn't learn. So absolutely anything. So therefore retrocausality, plus with retrocausality, once you understand it, you cannot have regret, because regret is false, because this trauma healing and all that bullshit, that falls away, because you fully understand your future self has dragged you through those situations, because it needs you to search, find, and encounter certain events for the person you need to be in the future. So your future self put all of this before you, so there is nothing to forgive anymore, because you all of a sudden understand, no, all of this was needed. Had I not done that, I wouldn't have met that person, I would have learned that, I wouldn't have done that, and I wouldn't be the person that I need to be tomorrow. So retrocausality, my God, just gives you such security. There is there is absolutely nothing external that you need anymore. First of all, you entrust your shit and yourself and your body and everything. And the proof of retrocausality is synchronicities. I said that, and I'm going to say it again. Look at the synchronicities in your life and understand they could not happen. Because everyone says, oh, if you don't understand retrocausality, you look at things backwards. You say, oh, how could this thing be here when I just thought about it? No. This thing that was gonna be here signaled, your antenna picked it up, and you thought about it before. So no, the thing that came after created the thing that came before. So the thought that you had. That's why even the concept of copywriting, again, I'm gonna mention, when you pick up an idea, like even after, when I clicked with retrocausality, there were literally on YouTube 4 retarded videos about it. Once I put it in the ether, honest to God, consciousness just picked it up, and so many other people picked it up from the ether, the concept of retrocausality, and so many other people talk about it now, including Matt from Quantum of Conscience and so on. And he's lovely. I love him. He's so funny. And oh my God, if you want to use retrocausality as a crutch, by all means use it, because it's the best crutch possible to absolutely know for sure. And this is the thing I wanted to say before I forget. If you resist your instinct, it's just like digging in your heels and delaying your arrival to where you need to be. So if your mind, it's overriding your instinct, and you stop that which your instinct is guiding you to do and be. So if you stop it based on some rational thing that your computer is telling you to do, you are literally delaying your good from you. Literally. Because whatever is in your instinct now, regardless of how you judge it to be inappropriate, not the right time, blah, blah, blah. However you judge it, if you block your instinct and you don't follow through, you just delayed your good. Because your very next step would have come as a aftermath to whatever your instinct was pushing you to do. So your next step would have come had you done that. Because you didn't do it, your next step cannot come. You just blocked your good because you think you know better. You know fuck all. All you know is that which you saw so many people before you do. You don't have the infinite capacity of options. I have a young mate of mine she's just 16 and she's starting to work, and I'm trying to explain to her that there are more ways in which she can get money, because she's totally focused on the little tip that she gets if she does her Saturday and Sunday job and so on. And I'm trying to tell her, stop thinking like your mom, because honest to God, there are so many other ways. Like, you can find money on the street. You can find the thing on sale. You can find the thing on the street that you think you need money to pay. Like, just don't limit yourself by thinking, only if I do this for so many hours can I get that. That's stupid thinking. That's primitive thinking. That's retarded thinking. Understand that retrocausality is sending you the desire. Desire is of the Father. You picked up a desire, a wish for something. That means that something will be very happy to have you enjoy it. Yeah? That means the means for you to get that will come as well. You just have to follow your joy. So if your joy is go hang out with your friends, go hang out with your friends, because with your friends is gonna come the next idea. So but as long as you think, no, I can't hang out with my friends because I have to be responsible, I have to go to this miserable bullshit job and wait for the clients that are not gonna come, and they're gonna leave me the 50 cents tip, and with that eventually in 10 years I can get my shit. No, 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 no. And when the material shit that's needed, it's simply not available, like it was for me. Fuck, that was so amazing too. um I had some money and I was thinking, yeah, I'm gonna get a car. I'm gonna get another car and so on, because even though here in Germany it's much cheaper to sort your shit out with the public system and to just transport system, public transport, and to rent a car if you're somewhere traveling and so on, to rent it for a day or two or whatever, it's much cheaper than to keep a car. Here they're, my god, they're paranoid schizophrenics with insurance and bullshit. My god, they're such a TikTok nation. Oh my god. Oh my god. Whoever said that Germany is the height of organization and structure and this and that was so fucking wrong. Like, I can't even. But anyway, so I thought I'm gonna buy a car and rah, rah. Then the car that I wanted was sold from underneath my nose, and I have a very specific wish for a very specific color and a very specific outlook of the, anyway, so it didn't work out. And then then I find out, not only they started to put fiber optic or something, literally every second street was closed. Then the price of petrol went through the roof. Then I can't remember what other, oh yeah, they started to limit anyway, bullshit started to happen with the cars, and they want everyone to buy electric cars and shit like that. And I'm like, no way, no way, no, I'm not buying a fucking electric fucking bomb. Anyway, so when I saw that the things with the car was not flowing, I said, okay, I'm not even gonna push. I just looked around. Things didn't work out easy. It's getting unpleasant. I'll stop right here. And so it happened that better things were awaiting to do with the money, and the money for the car helped me a lot longer along the way and served me a lot better than had I got myself a headache of a freaking car. So, but that's the thing, is to read the signs. If something it's hard and unpleasant, because the instinct always speaks through joy, what you need to do, it's easy, flowing, joyous. If it isn't, you're using your rationale, and your rationale, it's your NPC programmed drone mind, and that's very limited because it only knows what it was programmed to know. It doesn't know the full potential of the God source. So to let go when it starts to get hard is very, very important. And you thinking that one shit with two shits is gonna give you a cake at the end? No, no, it doesn't work like that. So that's what I learned. And from this, I draw my security, and the outside world can burn to hell. I'm not taking that offer, thank you very much, because that's another very important thing. And I said it in everything, it's an offer. So either you accept the offer or you reject it. And so when I find that anything offered to me that is scary, unpleasant, um, victimizing and so on, I immediately reject that offer. And I go back to my knowing, and I know absolutely that the future me can, the future me is me. Of course it has the best interest of me at heart. Of course. Because without me now, it wouldn't exist then. So its highest wish for me to arrive at the best potential me in the future. The best potential me is calling me. To trust it implicitly, it's of course, I mean, it's me. Of course I love me. Of course I want the highest and the best for me. So how can I not trust the future? Because it's me, it's the me consciousness that's putting me through. It sees where I sprung, and it knows what it takes to my personality, to me, to that which I was, this package that is right now, right here. It knows what it needs to experience in order to become its better, its best, its highest consciousness at the end of this exercise. The being never stops, but it is ongoingly growing, ongoingly evolving. What doesn't grow dies. With being, there can be no death. You cannot not be. This was very clear told to me. So, and shown to me. The being does not stop. But what kind of a being you become, you're in the making now. And retrocausality, I'm telling you, the understanding that your future is calling your present and it's activating your present. And all you have to do is follow your joy, your most joyous option out of all the options, your most easiest joyous option. This system cannot be better, cannot be better made, cannot be more fun, cannot be more deliciously easy. Follow your joy. Understand that your joy in your instinct, it's given by your future self that cannot not love you, cannot not have your future self, cannot have your bestie, because without you, it cannot be. So that's why I said, I don't beat my own heart. I don't breathe my own breath. Some consciousness beats my heart, breathes me. So every time I'm in some sort of physical issues or something, I say, listen, sort it out. If you don't sort it out, we're not gonna be. So sort it out. Put before me what I need. Tell me, and invariably, I find out everything I need to find out. It comes before me, the right information, the right YouTube channel, the right message on wherever it comes to me. So that's why even this greedy accumulation of information, if it is not your joy and your pleasure, don't think that you're reading, instead of having fun reading 10 million books of 10 million idiots, it's gonna get you somewhere better. No. Information overload gives you fuck all but confusion. What you need is gonna come to you in the moment that you need it. How do you know? Look at the synchronicities on random shit around you. So believe that what you need, know beyond, because it's beyond belief, it's knowing. I've gone way beyond belief. I've gone to absolute certainty. So that's why when people say you're arrogant and you're this, how do you think you know everything? Dude, what I know. Like, it's given to me black on white. It's given to me 1000%. And it comes to me. And I just know where it's coming from. It comes from the ultimate source of good. It can't fool me, because without me, it won't be. So it has no interest to fool me. So that's why I have a certain certainty and I have a certain confidence. Because confidence with cockiness is not the same thing. And confidence is when you stop failing yourself. Confidence is believing in yourself, having your own back, backing yourself up, finding you without fault, loving you and trusting you. And not putting rules. Well, I said I'm not going to do that anymore. And look, I just did it. So fucking what? Trusted beyond trust that whatever you did, you were... So have your own fucking back. That it's confidence. The rest is cockiness and trying whatever the fuck. But yeah, confidence is you with you. You trust yourself and you back yourself up. And you know that you cannot make a mistake. If it's done, it's meant to be done as it is done. And from whatever is done, there will be an outcome. And that outcome will take you further. There is no mistake. So that's another thing with me. Because people that are still in the self-blaming and self-hating and so on, they see me, they're like, who the fuck do you think you are to think? Fuck, I'm fabulous. That's who I am. It's as simple as that. I'm fabulosity. And in my own life, everything I need to be. The fact that you're triggered because I'm so complete, that says about you, not about me. Your shit ain't my problem.